Hello viewers, we are at the Oklahoman's video studio for Parties Extra. I'm Helen Ford Wallace, and with me today are Mike Bateman, Jesus House Executive Director, and Sloan Wellner, Jesus House Volunteer. Welcome you all. Glad you're here. Well, Mike, you have a huge undertaking this year. Last year you gave out lots of baskets, 2,000 maybe?
Yes.
Thanksgiving baskets. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we're gearing up for that again, and so that's just been a staple ever since I've been involved with Jesus House. And as we just talked a little bit here, that started at a much larger scale with our founder, Sister Ruth and Sister Betty, who used to do it at the fairgrounds. Mm-hmm. But there weren't as many organizations doing it as they do now. You have organizations and churches that do it now. So we're just carrying on the tradition.
Well, so 2,000 baskets, lots of turkeys, fed 8,000 people. So how many are you expecting this year?
I'm actually looking at probably about the same, maybe a little higher. We have seen an increase in some low-income families that we are coming by and using us, to feed them and their families, So they're making life decisions, to buy gas or pay a bill or groceries, and so Jesus House, if we can be that help to them and take a little pressure off, then that's what we're supposed to do. So, but yeah, we're looking at right around 2,000, maybe 2,500 this year.
And what do you put in your baskets?
We put a little bit of everything. We put everything for a traditional Thanksgiving dinner to just give them a little help, such as cranberry sauce, your green beans, corn, stuffing, instant potatoes, pumpkin, stuff like that, and then everybody receives a turkey, so bird is the word this year, as it is every year around this time, so we're just
and the community can help you by bringing these things, is that correct?
Yeah, we cannot do this without the community. Mm-hmm. and some donors that help us, quite a bit, so everything that they bring, and we just give right back to the community in need. So we do a traditional Thanksgiving dinner at Jesus House at 3 o'clock to 5:30 on Thanksgiving. So if someone's out there and they're hungry that night, we started that about 5 years ago when I took over as director. I felt that everybody else was doing it real early and we might be missing a later meal, so we started doing it later in the evening, and it's been a success. So
people can really bring in some things. Where do they bring them? Where do they bring? I mean, they can bring soups.
Yeah, they can. I mean, we always take donations of anything, but really it's the non-perishables that are going to go into these Thanksgiving baskets, like we just said. And then we have several freezers that we can store, all these turkeys in and stuff, and give them out in time for Tom to thaw out before be put in the oven. So yeah.
And it's 1335?
1335 West Sheridan. Also, our warehouse is open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So if you're bringing more, you can stop by, and it's 1401 West Sheridan. It's just right across the street from our main facility. So
how do people know to come to get this after you've put these baskets together?
I think it's word of mouth. It's definitely like shows like we're doing now. Mm-hmm. Sloan and her company does a great job pricelaying to get the words out in the papers. We have people that start calling in August wondering if we're going to do it. We have volunteers start calling in July this year wondering if they can volunteer. So it's really an exciting time, So when we get about where we're at now and on into Christmas even, it's a really a busy time for us. It's a blessed time for us, but it's a lot of extra work. So yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, so then you cook for everybody. So I think that's very amazing too.
Yeah.
So how do you find the families? They word of mouth.
Yeah, they just come, and we
just come.
We service, Orchard Park and West Lawn communities anyway. So, but the word of mouth, and then it's been a staple for so many years that it's just a thing to do. Yeah.
Well, that's great. Well, tell us a little bit about Jesus House. Besides you also provide clothing, food and clothing.
Yes.
At other times of the year.
Yes. Yeah, so we do a food pantry every Wednesday right now, and that's every week. So there'll be people lined up there as well. So that's other people that also we put the word out that know that our Thanksgiving's coming right around the corner as well. And then, you know, we feed 3 meals a day, no questions asked, just sign up. So we'll really do a lot to support our community.
There's just a real need out there.
There are, you know, there is, you know, especially with the homeless population. You know, we have seen an increase in the homeless population over the past year, just throughout the city, and then even the homeless that are staying on the streets at night. You know, so but that's what we're supposed to do as organizations. We just help where we can and let them know that, hey, if you need a hand up, not a handout, here we are. And
there's something, you all do something called Adopt-A-Block. Are you all still doing that?
Well, we've moved away from really the Adopt-A-Block. We've really just been focusing on our weekend street ministry, where we take biscuits down to the bus station and we pray with them, do a devotion, encourage them to get into a program, you know, or go to a homeless program, or like ours is a recovery program, just to try to change their life. So we try to encourage them and say, hey, you know what, you may have no hope now, but if you enter one of these programs, there's hope there for you.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you're going through a rebranding kind of a program. So Sloan, tell us about that.
So Jesus House has recently got a new look, but they're still kind of the same. They're moving away from the homeless shelter and more into a recovery program. So they got a brand new look.
Oh.
So a little bit of a refresher.
Is that on your website?
It is on the website.
It is on the website.
Is it? And
yeah.
what's the website?
JesusHouseOKC.org.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're changing just a little bit there.
Just a little bit.
So what we found, Helen, is that, you know, nationwide there's over 600,000 homeless people, you know, and close to 40% are addicted to alcohol, and close to, you know, 30% are addicted to your opioids and your heroin. And so we wanted to be a solution and do something a little different, you know. And so some of the people that come into the clients that come into our program, they're actually born into, you know, hopelessness. You know, they've been on the lesser side of things and they've had no hope instilled in them, and they've carried that for many years. So Jesus House is like, what can we do to encourage somebody that has had no hope, has just been in darkness most of their life? What can we do as Jesus House to open our doors, bring them in, love on them, encourage them, work on their recovery, work on their health side of things, you know, as far as exercise, meditation, sleep pattern, all this stuff. Give them a transition time where they can look for employment, go through job skills training, and then find employment, and then move into our transitional house, and then we can still work with them on independent living skills, how to budget, how to save, how to get an ID again, you know, how to save up for a car, get your driver's license, get your insurance, all that stuff, get 3 months worth of savings, and then we help them move in. So they're just not going right out into life after a 12-month time. We're saying, you know what, we know it takes time. You've dealt with the hard part. Now let's help you get more involved in life and going out and being a productive citizen.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that is your new mission.
That is it. Yeah.
But I think you've always done that. You all have always been really good about taking people in and loving them.
Yeah. And that's just part of the job.
Yeah. Okay, so to donate, what do we do? Let's go over that again. To donate, you call your number, or you bring it by, or you go to
either
the
way.
website?
If you need to know where we're at, and it's on Facebook and everything as well, but and just grab some and come on down to us, and we'll unload it for you. Give you a receipt if you need a receipt for this, and you'll be on your way. You know, you won't be there more than 5 minutes unless you bring like 500 turkeys or something. So
Jesus House is always open, is that right?
Jesus House is always open. You know, I mean, we shut the gates at 9 just to start putting everybody to bed and everything, our clients that stay there in our recovery program. But for the most part, from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. during this time, you can come and we'll be there and unload it for you.
And also, after Thanksgiving, you go into Christmas baskets and
We
toys.
do,
So
we
tell
do.
us a little bit about that.
Well, so then we take a little break, and then we gear up and we start again. And I don't know why the Christmas food baskets have always been less than Thanksgiving, but we usually give about 500 away there. But our toys, you know, we take gifts, and we have Santa. You know, we have the tallest Santa ever. He's like 6'5". He's a friend of mine from high school, and he goes, and we just go into neighborhoods, and we have gifts, you know, that people have donated, or money that is donated, so we can buy gifts. We have a wrapping day, a couple of wrapping days. People can be involved, that volunteer, and then we just go into the neighborhoods. We load up our vans and our trucks, and we go honking the horns. And you know, these kids that come out, and some of them probably don't have much of a Christmas without us, but man, to see their joy on their face. And we had one little girl that just, as Santa was coming up the walk, she just flew out of the door right into his arms, just say, "Santa!" You know, that was a memory. So, and there's a lady there, you know, she fixes tamales for us every year and hands out. So that's always a good gift getting back, you know. So they're really good tamales.
That's awfully sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anything else about Thanksgiving? Anything else about the mission or the statements or anything?
We just cannot do this without Oklahomans stepping up. And as a lifelong Oklahoman, born and raised here, you know, in Del City, I've never ever seen us not rise to the occasion of a need. And that's just, I think, instilled in Oklahomans, and it makes me even prouder to be an Oklahoman when I see cars pull up, or I get that call and they just say, you know what, we just feel like we're needed to bless you guys this year. So anyway, I just love my state, and I love the people here. So.
And you've been in this job for how long? I've
been in this job going on 7 years, you know, and started as a person at Job Corps, and you know, got some training there, and I was at City Rescue Mission for about a year, and then I moved on, and God opened the doors, and here I be. Yeah.
You're a blessing to this group, I do believe. Okay, anything else? Have we covered it all?
Just please be in prayer about year-end giving. You know, I mean, Jesus House, we go on donations from individuals. We don't take any state or federal monies, just because we always feel like, man, we don't want anybody telling us we can't honor the name on our door. So we really need the individual donors this year. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, Michael and Sloan, thank you so much for telling us about Jesus House and how we can help. Also, thanks for blessing Oklahoma City with your service. So many people benefit from your good work. Hopefully you get lots of turkeys for your baskets. Thank you.